We've had what people would call a robust set of results, particularly in this environment. I think that they probably are a little better than robust. I'd like to call them almost stellar, given the fact that it's not been easy. But I mean, the headlines really are is that our revenue's up 16%, headline earnings per share up 20%, operating profit up 23%, and our dividends per share up 20%. And I think what that does illustrate, it illustrates a couple of things. It illustrates the fact that we are in a space in this food service category which is buoyant. If you look at the data that's out there, it will say is that the category is forecasted to grow in terms of annual growth of the order of about 5.9% on a compound basis. So yes, we've participated in that particular growth, but I think what we also have is a wonderful business model here, in that we have a very wide variety of brands that cut across a lot of different LSM type groups, and we've deliberately done that. And our business model is not just about the brands at the front end of our business, but our business is also about the fact that we own our own logistics business, and at the back end of that we also own our manufacturing business. So when the brands, the logistics and the manufacturing silos are all working in concert, it's a very powerful business model, and I think you're seeing that manifest itself in the results. What we've tried to do over the time is to take Famous Brands from what was traditionally very much just a franchising business into what we call now total food service solution. So we participate across a very wide range of different product categories. And I mean, the category too is being driven very much by convenience, as you have more and more double income families. People talk about folks being cash rich and time poor, and as that happens they will gravitate more and more towards convenience. And our job is to make sure is that when it's convenience they're looking for, is that we have a brand or brands that are able to satisfy their needs. And of course, ideally what you want to have is that the brands that we have are the number one or number two choices in each of those categories. So overall, a really strong set of results, a good performance in terms of the margin. Margin that we achieved this year is 18.4%, last year 17.5%. And that margin really been driven to a great extent by a significant growth in margin in franchising, up to in excess of 60%. Last year was 57%. And I think what you're seeing there is the economies of scale. As we put more brands into our basket, we're able to unlock synergies and in that sense drive the margin up. Going forward, we do participate in a very competitive category. Certainly I think that the watchwords in our industry, in fact if it's retail, the watchwords are margin pressure. That's what everybody talks about. And it is a function of the fact that it's so competitive out there. However, as I said earlier on, I mean, the food service space is a very nice space to be trading on, especially as you go into the second half of the year, because it's about the summer holidays, it's about festive time, it's about people out and about. And in that respect, if you take a business like ours, we have a phenomenal representation. I mean, our total network now is 2,180 restaurants, and we are literally everywhere where people are going to be going on holiday. So whether you're traveling by air, whether you're traveling by road, whether you're going to the movies, whether you're going to the beach, whether you're going to the shopping centers, you are likely to find one of our brands in every one of those destinations. So quietly confident about our ability during the second 6 months. So from a South African perspective, because people do tend to spend more in the second half. Our results generally, it's about 52% of our profit in the second half of the year, 49% in the first half. So the second half was generally better than the first half.